Welcome to Squirrel, the podcast for distracted writers, hosted by Candace J. Thomas and Jody L. Milner. Hey everybody, welcome to Squirrel. This is Jody.
This is Candace.
And today is episode 22 of season 2, and we are going to talk about writing holiday stories without leaning too heavily on popular cliches.
This was really hard for me.
Finding examples of this, I do apologize because I kind of sprung this on Candy the last minute.
It's okay.
But it's a good idea and I like it.
It's fun. And I definitely, there are cliches that I really do, that don't work for me.
So when we watch holiday movies, I think everyone has noticed there's specific things that come up over and over and over again. And some of them are really annoying and some of them are like, oh, that's cute. But I've seen it before and I know what's going to happen. And so I would like to turn that idea kind of on its head a little bit, where we're going to talk about different tropes that come up a lot and why they're problematic and maybe where we see them, but how we can twist them a little bit to make them more interesting or make them more satisfying for the watcher. And so I'm going to just dive right in with my first one.
Sure.
And that one is all about the holiday miracle that solves everything.
And this is where I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm all in to hear your thoughts for this.
So this one, I think a lot of people would argue with, is it a bad thing or not?
Well, when you talk about Christmas and you talk about Christmas stories, you expect a miracle. I mean, that's one of the things that makes it like a Christmas story.
And that's where, like, turning the idea a little bit, I think could make it a tiny bit better. Maybe not. And this is where we could argue.
No, I like to hear your thoughts on it. That's all.
So the reason it's a problem is that our protagonist is going to have a problem. It's like one of the examples of this is like, It's a Wonderful Life. He doesn't have any money and he's very, very sad. And he's like, my life is worthless and blah, blah, blah. And then like the miracle is the angel comes and forces him to watch what the world would be like if he wasn't in it. And then at the end of that, he's like, oh, my life is worth living now and everything's great. But we don't see a lot of him like he's watching it. He's like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Like he's seeing all of these things. But for me, it's hard. And this could be because I'm neurospicy, but it just feels like he's like, oh, that's interesting. I've watched all of this. Okay, I'm happy now.
So he's not doing the work.
It feels like he's not doing the work.
So
it feels like a form of Deus Ex Machina.
Okay. I get what you mean. Yeah.
It kind of takes the main character out of the process of solving his own problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And is just given the answer and we're just all happy. Okay. And another example of this is like in Polar Express and Young Boy, they don't actually ever give him a name. He doesn't believe in Santa. And the only choice he makes is, okay, I'll get on the train. But the rest of it, he's actively impeding them from getting to the North Pole half the time. Like, let's stop the train. Let's stop the train again.
I don't even remember the book. I mean, I know sort of the story.
There's a lot of interesting things that happen. And especially in the movie where they flesh it out a bunch. But like, I don't believe. There's Santa. Here's a bell. I believe now.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't see him feeling like he even wants to believe. And then bam, he sees him and then he believes. And I'm just like, okay, seeing is believing. No.
I like it when there's a bit of a struggle.
I want the character to fight for it. And I mean, maybe you could say they show a little bit of him kind of being like, oh, you believe and I don't. Like, but it feels like when he finally gets it, there wasn't enough effort.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's my big thing on that is that everything that we could do to help the main character be an active participant. So when something does happen, we can kind of see that they deserve it and that it's right for them to have it.
Yeah.
Because people just having 180 turnarounds and they're just magically better. That's like Christmas Carol and Scrooge. I mean, yeah, he had 3 miracles and he got to see all of this stuff. But like the next day he's like, I'm a changed man forever and I'm the best person now.
He had to walk around with death.
He did have to do stuff.
I think he had some trauma there. So I'm going to grant Scrooge a pass there. But anyway, okay. The one I thought of is The most amazing toy for Christmas that everybody wants.
Oh, man. And they've done this one to death.
I could think of like Jingle All the Way.
That one was so over the top.
The 8-Bit Christmas, A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the problem I have. I do like this trope. Because I remember being that girl that wanted the exercise Barbie.
Aww.
And it was sold out and I never got that exercise Barbie. If anyone is listening out there and can get me an exercise Barbie, it would make the world to me.
Oh, wow. It would heal her heart.
Like it. So, but the thing that I don't like about it is the chaos. There's a lot of chaos that happens when you have like this. Specifically, I'm thinking of Jingle All the Way that just has, it's just one thing after another. It really doesn't have anything to do with the toy itself and the heart of why.
It's all about the parents proving themselves.
Yes, exactly. And I didn't like that aspect. The one I do when I talk about a fix possibly is the reminiscent aspect of A Christmas Story. So A Christmas Story, the main running theme is that he wants a Red Ryder action. Is that there's a song from there's a musical. The musical A Christmas Story is written by the same people that did Greatest Showman, the one with Ben Platt that everybody loved. I don't remember.
La La Land?
No, the broken arm one.
We watch different things.
No, this is a play. I'm talking about the play. So the thing I liked about A Christmas Story it's this guy, he's telling about a specific event when he got this carbine action BB gun. The way that it's told, even though that's the main line and the story, it's not the chaos. There's not like crazy chaos that is happening. It's a heartfelt story about, childhood. It's not so much about the gun as it is the experience of that specific Christmas. If you're looking at Jingle All the Way, it's just like,
it's chaos.
What is
The
even
whole thing
happening?
Is
It's all about, having the best toy and being the best parents. So you totally nailed it on that.
Oh, yeah.
I like the more romanticized reminiscing.
I completely agree. And I think it comes down to who wants the toy. Because if it's the parents that want the kid to have the toy because they want to prove themselves as really good parents, there's this amount of selfishness that's going into it. And it's like the kid doesn't really care. They just want to be loved and have time and do stuff that's memory making. Like, usually, sometimes there is the toy and the kid is going to just salivating for it. But most of the time, I swear it's just parents that are like, I want to prove that I'm a really good parent to get this one thing that's almost impossible to get. I think the kids appreciate it, but I think the parents are getting more, it's brownie points for them for being able to. And that makes a weird tone for a Christmas movie when it's not supposed to be about being selfish or proving that you can do it or proving that you're better than somebody else because you could do it. These Christmas movies are supposed to be feel-good movies.
Right.
And when it's a kid who really, really wants it, it's hard to not portray them as just being selfish.
Well, yeah.
As well, in a different way.
Yeah. A Christmas Story is not about commercialism.
No, it's about memories.
Jingle All the Way is totally
But there was in the original Santa Claus, when he got the Oscar Mayer whistle that the one guy had wanted when he was 11, there's this moment, he didn't even ask for it. He didn't even know that new Santa could do that. And then he's like, here's your Christmas present. And it was what proved to the guy that he was really Santa. And that was that cool little magical moment. It was the thing the kid always wanted when he was a kid, and finally given. And then
see,
that's really cute. It's not proving you're just trying to prove yourself. It's like, this is something I knew you really wanted, and now you're finally getting it. And there's this really warm, fuzzy moment. I love that.
I love that. Okay, yours next one.
Okay, the grumpy Scrooge who's turned into the holiday cheerleader overnight. Huzzah! Okay, these are really cute films, and we all want grumpy Karens to turn into nice people. Like I think everyone has these dreams that just everyone wants to be nice, and something happened to them and they're grumpy. Like we all dream that everyone's going to be nice. And so like this is kind of problematic because it feels again like we have a really grumpy character and he's grumpy, 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 grumpy. And then something happens and then all of a sudden it changes. And so like the example that I was going to share, although we see it in a bunch of places, and I'm thinking Grinch Who Stole Christmas, where he hears them singing and all of a sudden his heart grows and he's like, I'm sorry for everything. I will give you all your toys back. Like nothing leading up to that point makes us think that that's possible.
But
it's warm and fuzzy and cute. So
yeah.
It's hard to be upset about it, but the reasons it's problematic is like, but where's the personal growth that comes from effort?
I think Grinch is the wrong one to point out because he is talking about the noise and the commercialism of Christmas instead of...
Oh, yeah.
And then his heart grows because they don't
didn't
have
need
anything. See, that
okay,
is...
my other example might be better then.
Okay, let's try that.
The other example is on Elf. Buddy's dad, Walter, is not into...
He's a terrible...
He's not into the Christmas thing at all.
Yeah,
He's kind of a cutthroat editor, book... I don't even know what his... He must be an acquisitions editor or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to pitch these stories to whatever. And so, like, the whole story, he's really just not into Christmas. And then all of a sudden, they have to sing to make the sleigh fly. And then he catches the Christmas spirit. And then all of a sudden, he loves Christmas.
Okay.
And that just doesn't feel deserved. But the story wasn't about him. I can forgive it. Like, if it was about his finding his Christmas spirit, and that's how they played it out, I would have been really annoyed.
If I can mention a movie that does this really well, I mean, this specific trope, not that it does it really well, but one of the ones that we watch every year is The Christmas That Almost Wasn't. And that one we watch on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, man.
Because it's so awful and so much fun. And it's totally dubbed and it's hilarious, but it's the same thing. This guy doesn't like Christmas because of one bad experience, and he makes everybody, what he's doing is he's taxing Santa on his house, and he's going to take away his house.
Oh, that's a new low.
It's the best, right?
Wow. I want to watch that.
Oh, please watch it. You have to watch like the MST3K one because it's a really good watch. The Christmas That Almost Wasn't.
Okay, and so I think for fixing this, I would like to see at least some kind of clue to why the character doesn't like Christmas. Like, I think if we get that clue into what their emotional trauma was that made them hate Christmas, and then we see how that is healed, then you get that round story of, okay, this person's damaged, trying to fix it, and just subtle little things of them wanting it fixed or not realizing how much they're missing and then having it fixed. That makes it so much more rewarding.
I agree. I will agree with you there.
Oh, good, because
I don't have any. I already bantered with you. So, okay. The one that this is what I call the puppy at the end, which is metaphorically speaking, it's like where the ending, when everything, and I mean everything, is all glossy and shiny at the end. So it was really good. And then they had to do this extra part where, and this happens. And, there's grandma, she showed up. And, here's a puppy. It's like, we don't need all of this stuff. I mean, I'm not really into the Hallmark Christmas movies. I tried to watch a few. We were playing Hallmark movie holiday bingo with my kids, and so that we could try to get some of the tropes. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I wish I did.
Okay, so we created our own play like bingo sheet.
Gotcha.
That has different tropes on it.
And you were assuming I knew about this.
No. I'm just stating
just checking.
that this is something that my kids and I did. And they were Hallmark movies that we're trying to watch, and we tried to watch one like every night to see who could get bingo.
They
And
put out like 20 a year.
no,
Good luck.
it's so many more. I could not keep up. I don't really,
And they're not
great.
good.
they're not, I will just say they're not my taste. So,
I won't do it.
they are not my taste. And, but it's a lot of these movies had that extra scene. It's not, they have a lovely story where there's, they finally get together at the end. And how I would fix this, it's okay to let the audience wonder what happens after this. I think it's really important to leave the audience without giving them that extra thing. I called it, what did I write? Don't put frosting on your broccoli cheese soup.
That's oddly appropriate for what you had for dinner
Yes,
tonight.
I made broccoli cheese soup.
And there was no frosting on it.
No, but you know what I mean. Broccoli cheese soup is warm, comforting, and it makes you feel good. But then they add that extra thing, and you're just like, you just ruined my soup. You just put frosting all over it, and now it's absolutely disgusting. So that's what I mean. That's how I would
Gotcha.
fix it. Just, you don't need that extra scene, guys.
Yeah, and I agree. Like when it's already a sickly sweet movie and everything gets tied up and then they add on the one more thing, like everything's perfect and then it beautifully snows. I'm like,
Oh, and then there's a baby.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is happening? And then you win the
well,
lottery.
and
Oh my gosh.
when it feels out of place, I think is when it's the
Yes.
worst. Like if it kind of feels like it ties in, it's like, oh, this resolves the other last thing, then great, go for it. But if it just is so out of place,
Yeah.
then no.
Yeah.
And that's the fix. If it feels out of place, then it shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. So
There you go.
yours.
Okay, holiday gone wrong stories.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of these. I just feel they're overdone. And usually it's centered around finding, I mean, this is kind of a spin on the finding the perfect gift and chaos. But this is like trying to make the perfect Christmas and then everything goes wrong. And the best example of this is the Griswold A Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
All right, so we have, because Clark wants this perfect Christmas for his family. He wants the perfect dinner. He wants his parents and the in-laws to come over. He wants the best lights on the block on his house. And so what happens, his parents are awful. His in-laws are really weird. His brother's completely disgusting. Funny, but just like everything is wrong. His lights don't turn on. His tree light's on fire. Like everything goes wrong. And it just feels like it's punishment. The whole thing is funny punishment for this poor character. And I would just like to see more unique twists on this where we don't kind of get the predicted ending. But somehow like I would like it to work out even better than the MC wanted. And so like maybe the big thing is trying to find the perfect gift and struggling over it. But maybe it's deciding that Christmas is too commercial and you end up spending time making something handmade. And it's received all the better. Like some of these really cute, unique twists that have that kind of feel-good moral story to them.
Okay, yeah.
I like that better than, okay, well, this worked out really well and he gets his Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
Because that's how the movie ends, is spoiler. He gets his Christmas bonus instead of the Jelly of the Month Club. And he can get his swimming pool that he already put the down payment on.
Yeah. I do love I want to say that I'm really in agreement with you. I do love everything goes wrong type of feel. I don't like zany slapstick. So that's where I'm totally with you. I do like it when things go out of control. But when it becomes, this is where it is, when it becomes embarrassing, that's where I have a problem. When it embarrasses me watching it.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So, like Home Alone, I might put this like a zany everything going wrong type thing. I don't know. It kind of fits but I like that one a little bit more than I would. I I don't like feeling embarrassment. I don't like the reflective embarrassment of zany comedies like that. So I kind of would put everything Adam Sandler ever did in this category because...
Well, just making really bad decisions for reasons of the plot.
Yeah. Did Adam Sandler even do a Christmas movie? I don't know. He's Jewish. He did 8 Crazy Nights. That's the thing. Okay. But you know what I mean? I just don't like... For me, it would... How to fix it is just don't embarrass me. That's all.
Okay. You have your... This last one, and I might have had fun with my thoughts on it.
You sure did.
Because I was sitting at an appointment.
A blank for Christmas. That's the thing.
Oh, Hallmark.
I don't like... when the plot centers around some crazy something for Christmas, I think that trope is overdone and something that completely doesn't interest me. How to fix it? I said change the title, but I don't know if that really does fix the problem.
Well, and it feels like, I mean, and I have a list. I will read their actual Christmas movies that are all this style of title.
A blank for Christmas.
It is. I actually ran a search in IMDb for these with the help of my oldest kid. Like, I think there's the expectation, though. It's like a boyfriend for Christmas. Okay, you want someone to agree to love you for Christmas, but I mean, Christmas miracles, sure, but that's somebody else with feelings. And that just feels wrong that Santa's going to magic dust someone to fall in love with you because, the genies don't even let you make that wish. Okay, here's the list.
Okay.
All right. A princess for Christmas, a castle for Christmas, a royal date for Christmas, a bride for Christmas, a kiss for Christmas, a storm for Christmas, a wish for Christmas, a prince for Christmas, a boyfriend for Christmas. There's too many of these to count. I stopped at 10. There were hundreds, but those were the top ones I grabbed. I mean, it's just my big problem is the weird expectation that feels a bit like entitlement. And sometimes they make the story where it's not. Someone's like, I just want a princess for Christmas. Like, sometimes that's not the story. Sometimes it just happens. And so they're like, here's the title. But yeah, I just don't like that sense of entitlement.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. With the...
Don't
stop writing stories about entitled people and want relationships for Christmas.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't yeah. So many feelings.
All right. What's your finishing thoughts?
I mean, don't get me wrong, because there's a reason that cliches and tropes live on. Because there are soft spots in your heart for a story that has that element in it. And so they're not all bad. I think there's a lot of good that can be used with it. And I think that with a little bit of extra effort, you can make it even more special and even more meaningful or even more fun by just taking the expectation and just turning it a little bit or adding a little bit more depth. Like, I just want to see things improved. And so this whole episode is just encouraging those who might be tempted to write a Hallmark movie. If you are. I mean, apparently they need them.
They make so much money. I'm really in the wrong business. I just need to find a script and just edit it a little bit and just like change the bride for Christmas to a puppy for Christmas and
just
see
throw the
where it
script
goes.
in the blender, pour it back out, see what happens.
Just find and replace bride with
Voila!
Frumpy. See what happens.
Oh, man.
I really want to do that.
I dare you. I double dog dare you.
I'm totally going to do that.
Good luck.
Find that script. And
oh, man. A dog for Christmas.
As be a puppy for Christmas.
A puppy for Christmas with rainbows.
Yeah, instead of a bride. We'll see.
Wow.
So the kisses will be like, oh, puppy kisses. I love
those
it.
Are cute.
This is such a good idea.
All right. Your listener assignment, you get to watch a campy Christmas movie.
You should play.
Find your own bingo card.
We created it. We created our own bingo card.
I know you did.
They
don't have it. They're going to have to make their own.
I could send you that, and you could put it on the blog.
If
and
you remember to.
It.
Sure. All right. So see if you can spot tropes and cliches, and using what you find, just see if you can pinpoint 1 or 2 ways to put a unique spin on it that would improve it.
Yeah.
I think
Put
that would
more heart into
put more
it.
heart, put more
Yeah.
depth, put more fun, put less of what is expected so that people are refreshingly surprised.
I love that.
I
That's
think
a great
it's
idea.
great.
Yep.
Our next episode, do you want to pitch it?
Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
think we're going to have fun with that.
we're going to talk about the solstice, the winter solstice, the different traditions and customs of it. And this is going to be a lot of fun because I absolutely, completely love mythology. You know that. And I love the ancient history of this kind of stuff, of the Celts, of the, just the whole thing. So I'm really excited.
I'm so glad you're geeking out already.
I know. I can't even talk about it. I'm really excited to talk about.
Because when we originally talked about the idea, I'm just like, will
What do
she
you
go
think
for it?
Oh no, I'm totally in for it. So it'll be really fun.
I'm excited. All right. If you heard anything today that you liked, you know what to do. There are buttons and links somewhere. Go and find them.
It would be the best Christmas present to us is if you joined our Patreon and became part of that community. It'd be really fun. So
Alrighty.
that's all.
This has been terrific. Thank you so much, Candy.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Squirrel Podcast for the Distracted Writer with Candace J. Thomas and Jody L. Milner. Please like and subscribe to our podcast for updates and new episodes, and find more information at our website, squirrelpodcast.com. Stay distracted, everyone.
Hey, everybody. This is Squirrel, and this is Jody. Why can't I get this right?
So
I just
that's true.
realized I did not write my intro, so we're winging it.
Nobody knows that you have a written intro.
You're right.